Alrighty, guys, so I'm officially back from Italy, man. That was a crazy 3-week vacation. If you guys didn't know, my wife and I were on our honeymoon in Italy. We had a fantastic freaking time, but let me tell you guys, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back here in the studio. We got the big monitor here. We have the little laptop right here. We got the lights. We got everything going, and we're going to make a bunch of content. Let me tell you guys, we have a lot to break down in this video and overall in the next couple of days because there's a lot going on. We had tech earnings this week. We had Google and Microsoft report, which is really what's crashing the markets, or at least part of the reason why the markets are going down. So in this video, we're going to break down the indexes, the charts, all that good stuff, some individual stocks. We'll break down some earnings. So if y'all find value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe here on YouTube. It's free, and feel free to follow me on X as well, guys, at Stas Talk Stocks. I'll leave that link down below. Make sure to go do that, guys. I'm getting way more active on there. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So it's currently about, what time is it? About 1:45 p.m. on the East Coast. So we've pretty much had almost the entire day of trading. We only have about 2 hours left in the session, and we have all the indexes, which you guys are probably not surprised here. They're in the red, except for the Russell. Well, I guess it's still in the red, but not down as bad as the others. The Russell's down about 0.1%, really nothing compared to the NASDAQ and the S&P. We have the S&P down 1.1%, and the NASDAQ, are you guys ready for this? It's down 1.9%, as the Dow's down about 0.7%, and we have the VIX up now over 6%, almost 6.5% on the day. And mind you guys, look at the VIX now. Did we not say mid-20s could be where it's going? And lo and behold, it looks like that's exactly what's going on here. We broke above the 20-point mark on the VIX, which was a multi-month resistance on this. You guys can see we struggled breaking out, or we just didn't see a breakout on the VIX above 21 points for the past couple of months. And well, that changed here over the past couple of days, right? Just a couple of days ago, we got to 23 on the VIX. Then we pulled back a little bit to 18, 19. Now the VIX is pushing back over 21. And if I had to guess, mid-20s, maybe even high 20s, who knows, maybe higher than that, could be right around the corner. So SPY, let's pull up SPY, Triple Q, then we'll break down some stocks here, guys. So make sure you all stick on throughout the video. SPY right now is completely in free fall mode, and same thing with Triple Q, right? You guys can see SPY's been downtrending, which we've covered before on the channel here many times, right? This has been downtrending for a good couple of months. We peaked at 460 back in the beginning of August, so about 2.5 months ago, almost 3 months ago now, and we've been making lower highs and lower lows ever since that point. And if you guys remember, a couple of days ago, I talked about this. 420 was a big spot. Keyword is was, because we broke under it now, right, guys? That was support in the beginning of this month of October, and it looks like in the end of September as well. And I told you guys, if we fell through 420, if we saw that descending triangle play out, which, of course, it ended up doing that, now that we can see with the benefit of hindsight, the next spot we could be going to, I said this a couple of videos ago, was anywhere from 408, 410, maybe a 408 were to break, maybe down to 405, and it looks like as of now that's exactly what is happening, right? We have a death cross here. We're obviously under the moving averages, and we completely fell through 420 pretty much yesterday, right? Or was that the day before? Either way, we broke 420, and now we're clearly on our ways down to anywhere from 405 to 410, in my humble opinion. And now that opens up the question, are we due for a relief rally if we get to that point? Lower 400s, 400, 405, 410 even, you could argue. I think yes. I think we're due for some sort of snapback. I'm not saying we're going to go right back to all-time highs or anything like that, anywhere near that, to be honest. But if we got down to 410, let's say, for example, kind of like the last time we got oversold, which was back in the beginning of this month, where we got to 420, then we saw a rebound to about 435. Could we go from 410, maybe back to 420, 425? Totally in the cards, guys. Totally possible, as that would put it right back at the moving averages here on the 4-hour chart, right? Anywhere by the 50 to the 180 SMA, right around 425-ish to 430. That's where we could see a snapback, maybe even up to 420, which again was support. Now it's a clear resistance. So SPY's completely in free fall, and mind you, we're not seeing any signs of a reversal or relief rally quite yet, so keep that in mind. But it's something that I'm watching for sure. I'm watching it, keeping my eyes on it, moving forward here. And Triple Q, which is taking the biggest beatdown with today's move and yesterday's down move, we're now officially under this 355 to 350 level, which I've covered before on the channel. And now we're at a multi-month low on Triple Q. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but if I zoom in a little bit, let me do that really quick. There we go. We can see back in, let's see, the end of June, also in the end of August. We can see here in September, October as well, early October that is, we held 350, 355 like clockwork. And with this down move, well, we broke that point. Now we're in the mid 340s. And I told you guys a couple of videos ago, same video that I talked about that 405, 410 level on SPY, Triple Q could be filling the gap down to 338, 340. That was actually the high from the middle of May, and it looks like that's exactly what's going on here, guys. If I zoom in a little bit, we can see that this gap is starting to fill right down here, and I don't know if it's going to go. Obviously, nobody knows what's going to happen, but I'm not sure if it's going to go under 340 and slip even more. I guess it all comes down to the other big tech earnings that we have coming up, because we haven't had every single company report. I believe Amazon's today, right? Let me double check. Again, guys, I just got back from the honeymoon. I've kind of been out of it for the past couple of weeks. Let's see here. Yeah, Amazon's today. Yeah, that's right. That's today. And what else do we have today? Meta Meta was yesterday, which we'll talk about here in a second. Yeah, Meta was yesterday. So we still have Apple and Amazon, two of the big dogs. And let's say they drop the ball as well. Okay, maybe we do start slipping down even more on Triple Q, which is possible. But if we do start breaking 338, 340, and we slip even more from there, you can make a serious argument that we're due for a relief rally, at least in my opinion. And again, it all comes down to what these earnings are going to be looking like, after the bell today, which is why you have to subscribe. It's free, guys, on YouTube here, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. So let me show you all what's going on with these stocks, the big tech names, which I haven't got to talk about here on YouTube yet, and maybe I'll do a deeper dive on these earnings on my Patreon, which I've been a little bit inactive on the Patreon, guys, but we're still doing the daily updates, or not the daily updates, the weekly updates on the Patreon portfolio, which I'm still funding every week, still buying stocks. So if you guys want to see that and keep up with it, that's linked down below. And we're going to get way more active on Patreon, a bunch of private updates, all that good stuff. Discord is all, on that Patreon, shameless plug. So look, Google now is down about $20 from their recent highs. We hit 143. Now we're pretty much at 123. Well, we are at 123, and the stock's down 2.5% so far on the day. So it's down about 13%. Now it's officially in correction territory. So let's see, excuse me, guys, what this company ended up reporting. Actually, crap, we can't even see it here on the live news tab. That's my bad. I should have wrote my notes down. But look, from what I understand, or from what I remember, they ended up slowing down, or they saw slowing down cloud revenue growth, which is not ideal here. And believe it or not, when it comes to the charts, guys, we don't really have to break down the numbers too much. Actually, let me pull them up here. Maybe I could pull up an article or something. But when it comes to the charts, guys, we can see Google's uptrend is still clearly holding. Can you not see that? I mean, look, we can see it is in this channel still, which is very, a very good sign for the bulls. Let me show you this. Boom. And boom, you guys see that? Even though we're completely falling, free falling right now, and we have, we're in correction territory, that channel is still holding on Google. And I just got these earnings pulled up here on, let's see, what is this? Yahoo Finance. So let me pull it up and see, guys. Google ended up doing EPS of $1.55 versus $1.45 expected. So that beat, and they also beat on revenue, $76.69 billion versus $75.97 billion expected. So that's good. And YouTube ad revenue came in at $7.95 billion versus, let's see, $7.81 billion. That beat. And we can see Google Cloud revenue. Well, you guys can't see it, but I'm reading it to you guys. That's what ended up missing. Like I said about a minute ago, $8.41 billion versus $8.64 billion expected. And traffic acquisition costs came in a little bit higher than expected, $12.64 billion. versus 12.63 billion expected. A net income rose year over year. Holy smokes, that's a big pop there. 19.7 billion versus 13.9 billion from a year ago. So that's quickly a rundown on these earnings here from Alphabet. And again, guys, a lot of the reason why the stock's down is due to that miss on cloud revenue. But I'd honestly watch for a snapback in this stock. I think we could get some sort of relief rally here. I don't think, Google's one of those stocks that does not stay beaten down for long unless we get some, drawn out market crash. That's a completely different story. But this is one that I'm looking at for sure as a bounce back trade. And let's see what else. Meta, we had earnings from them yesterday. And this is another one that, believe it or not, guys, is still holding the uptrend, even though it's down about $35-$40 from the recent high. So they ended up doing, let's see here, guys, Meta, where the heck are you? Maybe I'll have to punch this in on Google as well, guys. Meta CNBC earnings. This is what happens, guys, when you're on vacation and you miss the earnings reports. It is what it is, guys. You got to live life. You got to go experience different places. It's what life's all about. What's the point of making money, trading, investing, saving, being a responsible person with personal finance? What's the point of that if you can't go out and enjoy your hard work, right? So you don't always have to be in tune with everything, but I guess I kind of do for the sake of the channel here, guys, and the content. But it looks like here Meta reported $34 billion in revenue, up 23%. And that's the fastest growth rate since 2021. That's good. And the company's net income jumped 164% to $11.58 billion, or $4.39 per share. Not bad there, guys. Not too bad at all. And you can make a serious case that the reason why Google and Meta are falling is because, well, the stocks just got way too ahead of themselves. I talked about this a couple of days ago, how Google and Meta are the two stocks that really have been crushing it throughout the last couple of weeks in terms of the big tech space. If you guys take a look at Apple, for example, in the last 2 months-ish, a month and a half, 3 months even, this thing's been down a lot from 198 to now 166, right? That's a drop of around 16%. So that's getting beaten down way more than Meta and Google, right? Microsoft, let's pull that up. This is one that got beaten down a decent amount. And, maybe this chart doesn't look as bad as, let's say, Apple's or whatever. But, all right, the earnings for Google and Meta, maybe they just weren't as phenomenal as expected. The stock was priced to perfection, and we're seeing a bit of a sell-off. And like I said, the uptrend's still holding, so it's not really the end of the world, in my opinion. Now, Amazon's chart looks like, it could see a little bit more downside. Maybe. We have, Amazon's earnings after the bell today. We have a descending triangle that's playing out. Not a good sign. Head and Shoulders looks like it's playing out as well. Also not a good sign. But who knows, man? This is one that's beaten down heading into earnings, which is kind of the opposite of what we saw with Meta and Google. So who knows? If Amazon's earnings crush, for all we know, this could reverse the tech dump that we've seen, and maybe we could get a nice spike in Amazon stock, which, to be honest, I'd love to see it go down more because I want to selfishly buy more in the lower hundreds. I want to add more to my position, as I did start buying this, in different accounts in the 85, 90, 95 range, and it ran up way too much, but, before I started to build out, or before I got a chance to build out a bigger position. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on X as well at Stas Talk Stocks. And of course, guys, don't forget to get your free money from Moomoo. They're running a brand new promo right now. Use that link down below. Open up your account and fund it with your initial $100 deposit. You get 5 stocks right off the bat, like you did before in the previous promo. But now the difference is, if you do that, fund your account with at least $100, you get those 5 stocks, each up to $2,000, by the way. And on top of that, you get a free share of SoFi stock, which is awesome. And fund your account with at least $1,000 on top of those 5 stocks, and your SoFi stock, you get 10 more stocks, and each of those could be valued up to $2,000 as well. So this is a no-brainer, guys. Use that link down below, or just go to StasSurFest.com/Moomoo, get your stocks. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you all later.